to present, and so in the last 18 months, but she expired in August of 10. So that's most likely why we don't have any training for her. And the other thing that tells us is she hasn't attended any training that was conducted by an approved training sponsor. So that gives us kind of two pieces of information. I'm just going to back window. You can just back up and so you can look at the next person. So we'll look here at Angela Boyd. She's a teacher. She's been there 5 years and 10 months. She has a bachelor's degree. She has English. The English requirement is showing up because the way the system is set up is so that it can also calculate the director's credential, and an English is required for the director's credential. So that's going to show up separately, just so that you kind of have an idea of why that might be there. And she does have a current training list. She attended first aid and CPR in January of 11, Focus Portfolios in January of 11, Voices for Children in October of 10. She has a current training list for the span that we searched for. So if you just want to see purely the last 12 months, then you can set that filter, and then those trainings would not have shown up at that point. And down at the bottom it shows all of her employment history as well as current employment. And then you can just back arrow. And this is Denise's record. So it shows her professional development ladder. It also shows her Oklahoma director's credential, the date that it expires, her position, her degrees, and then her trainings. And she has some training in 2 different trainings in 2012, October of 11. So quite a few that would show up either just if we went back 12 months, or historically we've got more training that you can see there. So you can just basically click down the list and see every single one of the staff. Going across the page, the position that you see posted on this report is what that teacher or director said that the position they held when they made application. Then the next column, the start date. This is when they said that they started at this facility at Integris. This verification status says verified. And it's going to basically, we just changed some of the wording, but when I worked with Denise, the wording was verified. Verified, as we're moving forward, is going to mean that CECPD was able to verify that, either through a program administration scale, or some type of information that way that we know for sure that person works there. What you're most of the time going to see in this box is admin verified, which means that the director at the facility verified that the information is complete and accurate on their end. The PDL level is the level that they are on the professional development ladder. And the expiration date in this column corresponds to their professional development ladder. The ODC level, it'll say if they're bronze, silver, or gold. And the ODC expiration date will show up if they have that. Last submit. If we'll use Linda Blakely as an example. If she were to submit an application, if she were to have submitted an application yesterday, as an example, there would be a last submit date in there of 3/28/2012. 12. So that would let you know that she knows she's expired, but she has submitted some information, and it's somewhere in the processing of CECPD. So if you needed to check with us as far as, you know, what's going on, but oftentimes, and I know that the registry staff have talked with you about this on numerous occasions, a director's credential that's expired, they'll say, well, I submitted that 3 months ago and I still haven't heard back or whatever. You'll be able to see right here on this screen when they submitted the application. That date's going to show up there kind of 2 different ways. If they go in to the online system and submit an application, it'll be in the system the minute they push submit. If they send in a paper application, it will be in there the minute one of our intake staff inputs the beginning of the application and pushes submit. So they might have mailed it yesterday, but it's not showing up here yet because they did a paper application. If they do an online application, as soon as they click submit, it shows up. So that's kind of 2 different ways that we can get that last submit date to show up. Another word that could be here in the verification status is self-reported. Self-reported means that the teacher said on her application that she worked at Integris. And so we will attach her to Integris. But until either the director verifies it, it's just going to sit there as self-reported. There is another status that's called insufficient information. Insufficient information means what we are telling directors on data entry is you need to use insufficient information if a teacher has said that they are X position and that's really not the position that they are. So maybe they say they're a master teacher, but they're not the master teacher that you count, or they say they're an assistant teacher, but that's not terminology. So the director is the person that has the ability to put in insufficient information. And then what we say to the director, their direction is, insufficient information means you put that in there and then you tell your employee, Linda, you need to go and fix your application online. You need to log into the system and update your record so that then I can verify it. Because we want the director to verify that the information is accurate and complete. So if something doesn't seem quite right, we don't want a director saying it's administrator verified. And then they can also put denied. So if someone says they work there and the director's saying, no, she never worked here, then they can deny that status. They won't show up on this window. It basically unattaches them from this program if they put in denied. So those are kind of the statuses that the director can use. When you go in, and you can print this page out. You can go into a person's record, and you can choose. Our recommendation is that you do it in a PDF. It just makes it's a lot cleaner. But you can export it to Word or PDF, or you can export it to Excel. You have a lot of options of what format. And then you can print directly from the screen. So you can either export it to another document or you can print from the screen. And you can do that for individual records, or you can do it for the facility report itself. And in the beginning, until it's mandatory, it may be important for you to print this page out because we're showing that there's 17 staff at this facility. And just having worked with Denise, I know that they're somewhere closer to, I think she said there was about 12 that